Hi guys, today we're going to talk about social stories. So social stories is a kind of tool. Well, first they were invented by Carol Gray in the early 1990s, and they are a tool that can be used to help children with special needs and really typically developing children as well navigate social situations and kind of figure out the appropriate behaviors for the social situation that they are in. So it kind of is a way to give those children utilizing the social story the information that they need to navigate that social situation and kind of how they should respond versus what is maybe not the best response. And they are they're great for practitioners to use because they don't really require anything. There is some training usually required, but they don't require any kind of other outside materials other than a computer and computer paper. So this is the one that I made. And it's for a kiddo who has a little bit of a tough time going to the doctor's office. So it goes through, we'll read it, but it goes through the general kind of things that happen at the doctor's office. And then it kind of pays special attention to something that he has a specific issue with, which is the blood pressure cuff. So it makes sure that it pays special attention to the blood pressure cuff, and it gives him strategies on how he can deal with using kind of appropriate behaviors for when he's utilizing the blood pressure cuff and the doctor's using it on him, and whether, it's okay if it bothers him, but these are things he can do, and talks about how the doctor's office is kind of a positive place. So we're going to read it. Hopefully it'll be kind of easy to see. We'll try and navigate that. Because they are printed on paper, sometimes they can be a little hard to hold up. So going to the doctor's office. Sometimes I have to go to the doctor's office. Sometimes I go to the doctor's when I am sick, but usually I go to the doctor's just so they can check that I'm growing big and strong. All the people at the doctor's office see how brave I am when I step on the scale to see how big and tall I am getting. The doctor might ask me to take off my shoes to step on the scale. Sometimes the doctor shines a light in my ears, nose, and eyes. This is to make sure I am healthy and clean. They may also tap on my knees or feet. This makes my leg jump. It's a silly feeling. Usually the doctor will use their stethoscope to listen to my heartbeat and my lungs breathing in and out. Sometimes they let me listen too. Sometimes the doctor has to put a blood pressure cuff on my arm. This is to make sure I am strong and healthy. The cuff gives my arm a hug. When the cuff gives my arm a hug, I can close my eyes and count, or I can sing a song. This will not hurt me, and it tells the doctor how healthy I am. I can practice this at home. The people at the doctor's office are so proud when they see how brave I am. Mom and Dad are proud too. When it's time to leave the doctor's, I sometimes get a special treat like a book. I also get a big hug from Mom or Dad for being such a good patient. I like going to the doctor's office so I can show them how big and strong I'm getting. So you can see it was there were lots of things about kind of the general process of getting a checkup, kind of just a general health checkup at the doctor's office. Some things that might be a little weird to this kiddo, like that he might have to take his shoes off to get his weight. And kind of letting him know that hitting the knee, checking his knee will make it jump, so that he has all the kind of the information about what's going to happen at his doctor's appointment, and it gives him strategies on how to deal with them, specifically the language about the blood pressure cuff giving his arm a hug, and strategies on what he can do while the doctor is using the blood pressure cuff is really important because it has a kind of a positive correlation, or not a correlation, it uses a positive term when referencing the way that the blood pressure cuff feels. This specific kiddo, this book is a little specific because he gets like a book or something when his parents take him to the doctor's office. He gets to go pick something out after. So it references that he gets a book when he's done. So he knows that he has something positive coming after his doctor's appointment as well. So social stories are a great tool for a practitioner to utilize. It fits kind of naturally in whatever setting you're in. You know, reading a book to a child is very normal. So this kiddo's not really going to stick out at all from other kiddos in the area. They can be used for multiple kids, even though they can be as general or specific as need be. So if you were to read this to, you know, another kiddo or this client with some other kiddos with him, you wouldn't be able to tell that the reason that you are reading it was for him. Which if you've got a kiddo who, give me 1 second, sorry. My camera wasn't working. Okay. So if you've got a kiddo that is maybe in a play group or a peer group or something, you can use it to kind of teach everyone. And it also is really helpful. It can be tailored to any situation. Any kid uses little materials. And authors usually only require kind of a short training to implement social stories. But they're a great tool. One of the cons is that if you don't want to do the training, you don't really want to write your own social stories. A lot of them are trademarked by the Gray Center. Carol Gray, I mentioned that she's created them, and you have to purchase them usually. So it might be kind of a little bit of a limitation. One of the only other ones that I came across was that the audience has to have a verbal IQ of 70 or above. So that's just some things to think about when using social stories in your practice. Thanks. Bye.